Yo, what up again? Much peace and thank you everybody for coming through. We got another episode on the FairGrow Australia channel. I am FairGrow. This is Thursday Thc Theatre. I do hope everybody is chilling to the max. Fucking had a good week, going through the good things. Just experiencing the culture of cannabis, ganja, spreading it, promoting it, enjoying life, feeling the benefits. Big up to all the farmers and all the people who are, finding benefit and relief from this plant. We need to change the narrative and the stigmas that are out there. Like I really sincerely am devoted to that cause from now on. It's a huge thing that I've seen in my life up to this point. Cannabis has been a huge part of my life, but it was always kind of, and still is for a lot of people. It's stigmatized. It's criminalized. It's a big risk. A lot of people look down upon it when, in actuality, it's really beneficial. In so many different ways. Just got to just change that mind. And I probably experienced it myself, but I just never put my foot down and said, this is what's good for me, and it helps me. I found myself getting in trouble with the law here and there for minor few things, but it stays on your head. It gives you a lot of stress. It goes on your record. For what reason, And then it's kind of like, what's the word, it's a really unnecessary thing. It's not a demonic thing. It's not harmful to anybody. It's actually helpful to nature. It's probably helpful to you. It'll de-stress. There's so many benefits into it, and I've only just got into it. Like, this is my first kind of season, But really appreciate it because definitely been a smoker for a long time, partaking. But you got to give big up to all the farmers because they're the ones that put in the effort, paid the attention to the plant, give it the love to have that outcome of the beautiful flower that we all like. That stereotypical goodness. So anyway, I do hope the sound is coming through clear. I better just check it myself. It's a really hot day out here, or not really hot, but it's pretty hot. It'll be in the 30s for sure. Up in Adelaide, it's sun shining down. Good for the plants, I guess. Good for the environment. We had some good rain last night, actually, which is really great. There we go. Sound's coming through good. Again, thank you for everybody for joining. So what I thought I'd do on this episode, as we're BGP Mobile, what is up, man? I got made mad. What's the word? Like gratitude, big gratitude, fully, because it's like helping me take my first steps into this lifestyle, which is kind of priceless. I can't really say how much I'm thankful. Like, it's awesome. But anyway, so we are in the closing stages of Australia's kind of what's the word? I don't know, better grow season, because from September to say March, April, we have it's the ideal time to be growing in Australia with photo period plants. But we do, thankfully, we have really good sun spectrum, and some areas, thankful enough, grateful that they can experience an all year round grow with the Australian sun and the outdoor conditions. So we should be really thankful for that. And I think where I'm at, we actually can do, and that's what I'm trying to do for this first go. Just try and see what the winter period will give, what sort of harvest we can get, what size plant, and just learn about that. So anyway, as I said, much peace. Big up to Greg 77, another absolute champion, front line, long time, super educated, just like and putting in the work and coming up with the results. This advocate. So it's much props deserved, and it's really, the word's got to be put out there and said. So I thought there's this website called where is it? I googled outdoor marijuana grow, outdoor flower time in Australia. I'll just get it up here. Where is it? Share the screen. So I saw it the other day. I don't know, obviously have a look now and just see what do you guys think of this information. You might have already seen the website yourself. So it's ilovegrowingmarijuana.com. It's for the Australians. And then it says here, Robert Bergman. It's said under somewhere else. He's in a Amsterdam-based, I think, Australian. That's he's the creator of this site. So there's a lot of information here. Strains and things too. You could even go get some seeds there. But what I thought, I will just go through his little blurb there. So, outdoor grower calendar, Aussie. The Australian grow season runs from August through April, give or take a few months, depending on your specific location or situation. This grow calendar will help you with your growing endeavors for the next 7 to 9 months. It includes average for day lengths and temperatures to help you get a better idea of what you can expect when growing weed in Australia. This is an excellent way to help new and old growers know how to plan their grow season and best budget their time. Even though it feels early, it is important to start preparations for your grow season now. Happy growing. The first half of this article covers eastern, western, southern coast and central Australia. If you want to find out about Northern Australia and the American calendars, you can go in there. So as he just said there, now is the time to get it prepared. So I'm probably learning that too. Not at this stage yet. I'm going to, obviously wait till the end of April. But, for June, I suppose you want to really, any time's a good time to start if you're trying to make a living soil base, like, you want to create compost and things like that to get the microorganisms going. So that's going to take a few months to kick in and really become active. So you want to start that early, but I'm probably thinking maybe June, July, start digging the plot that you want to put down. If you've got an outdoor area in the ground, or create your garden bed. Those elevated ones, and just fill the soil up and start. Nothing's growing in there, but give it a month or two to just get the activity going and for the space to develop and be a really good environment for when you do put the bean in and it starts to grow. So I'm just giving it I'm no master grower at it, but I'm just really advocate for it, and got to get that info out there and share with everyone. And everybody is different too. Also, that's got to be said. Like, people will teach you and tell you techniques and tricks, but in the end of the day, like you got to take that in and try and take what you can from it. But their practice and their environment is going to be different to yours, because your touch is going to be different and your actual setting is going to be different. So little things will be slightly different. You'll have to tweak, and you'll only learn from putting in the effort, so practicing. So I'll get back to this here. So what does it say? Aussie Grow Facts. Average based on Melbourne, Perth and Brisbane. This is for the coming information. The hottest days are experienced in the desert or in the interior of Australia. The main difference between desert and the coast is the fact that it is hotter and drier. This means growers should simply take care to water their outdoor plants more frequently and in higher quantities. Just hang on a second. I don't know. Anyway, sorry about that. Where are we at? Go back to here. So I just had someone knock on the door, but then run away. So go down here. He's got his own grow Bible and this is the part I was talking about. So basically, they're going from, as I said, June, July. Set your little garden base going. Time to probably put the bean in. This guy's telling us August. He's probably telling us to prepare it here. So the average day length, 10 to 11.5 hours. The temperature is 8 to 18 degrees Celsius. And for the desert, the temperature 7 to 23. So it gets quite a bit hotter and then a little bit colder too. So we'll see what he says here. Just go, this is the perfect month for preparing for the future grow season, especially in the warmer regions of Australia's coastline. The worst of the colder weather is soon to be history, and it's time to prepare your grow area and your plants. It is unlikely there will be any frost to worry about. anymore, meaning you can almost start growing in August. So as I said before, for certain areas, especially I guess in the southern regions, from Tasmania or in lower Victoria, you would probably be experiencing some colder weather. But northern Queensland, uh, will be sunshine all the time. So we'll go for that reason. You should order your seeds and begin the germination process as soon as you can. So since the growing season can last for a while in most parts of Australia, a plant that has sativa dominant genes should do just fine in an outdoor grow setting. Indicas don't fare as well in the heat that is to come, so be sure that you know what you're getting when you research and order seeds. Okay, so good point there. I think another little I read before that when it gets to the flowering stage, you really don't want your plants to be too hot. I think around week 6, I think week 4 to week 6 is a very crucial time when it's in flower. The terpene development is like kind of at its, it's in full swing. So if it gets too hot, the degradation of the terpene is like going to come into play. So it's kind of, I read that it evaporates. So the quality of your flower is going to be less. You would think maybe all the sun you're getting in and it's going to really convert over, but it's obviously not the case. You're overworking it, and it's not going to smell as loud. Probably won't taste as strong. So it's quite interesting thing to note. Ideally, seedlings will grow somewhere between 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. So unless this month is unseasonably warm, it is a good idea to start your seedlings indoors and then wait until the temperature rises consistently enough to bring them outside. If you are growing your plants exclusively outdoors, you had better wait a while. While you wait, prep your soil with compost and worms. If you're planning to clone, it's a good idea to begin growing and the mother plant this month, ideally indoors. That way, you can take the cuttings when it is still early in the grow season. Okay, so there, obviously with germination too. So that's what he's basically saying. Just get your area prepared so you can have the ideal growth setting, and like just go full speed from the like the start cut. You don't have to. There's no wait. There's no stunting in the little initial growth period for it to settle in. It's going to be in a pristine area and it's going to want to just grow as fast as it can, and that's what you want, right? So I think that with germination, a lot of people do probably got their own little techniques with it. And you're aware of it. For those that aren't, it's just the basic beginning of the seed and trying to get the taproot to emerge so that growth can start. Different techniques to it. You could just put it into the soil directly, cover it a little bit, and give it a bit of water, and hope the sun kicks into play. But I think a good technique is to soak the seed in some water, maybe 24 hours until it sinks. Then you can get some paper towel, soak that slightly. You don't drench it. You just make it wet, keep it moist. Put your seed in that, cover it, put it in a very dark and kind of warm, moist spot. It'll take maybe up to, you could start within 12 hours, but up to 72 or even 4 or 5 days has happened for me. But you'll just have a quick look. Don't muck around with them too much. You just, have a little peep. If you see the taproot develop, it's good to go, really. A white kind of noodle or spaghetti, thread will come out, and that's where you go. You're good. You want to be really careful though. At this time, they're very sensitive. Even though cannabis plants are very they can take a lot of beating and battering, and they'll acclimatize and adapt to a lot of situations, and they're very strong. That's once they're kind of mature. Things like too much heat, too much water, too much wind, different nutrient overload will kill the plants and lead to not as ideal growth. So we'll go back to here, September. The average day length is still the same. Temperature is varying pretty much the same. It's getting a little bit hotter though, to see. 27 is now the maximum in the desert. What do they say here? The risk of frost has dropped even more, especially in the warmer parts of the country. If you haven't already, you should definitely buy your seeds by now. If you already have them and are prepared with your soil and other necessities, you can safely put your young plants on the windowsill to begin sprouting them. Keep a close eye on the hours of daylight as young marijuana plants need a minimum of 12 hours per day in order to get enough energy to grow. If you're in the earlier part of the month where the daylight is still under 12 hours, supplement the natural light with a grow lamp. This is crucial because it prevents your plants from flowering early, which would be a huge waste. If you're growing a mother plant for cloning, be sure it is ready by the start of the next month, so there's enough time for the clones to grow outdoors even over the next few months. Critical point there, I think, the lighting stage. You don't want them to flower too early. Obviously, I don't have immense knowledge on this, but as I said, I'm trying to do a winter effort for outside, just to see what happens. I've heard a few that it's possible. I've heard from a few people that not the greatest idea because of that simple fact. They could flower instantly, or very early, and it's gonna lead to a small yield. Like it's not gonna grow as far as it could, and you're just losing the potential in the flower. I haven't seen it done yet, but we'll see what happens. But the other issue there I wanted to bring up would be the spacing of the months. So August to September, a good time to start, and get your base ready, put your seed in for October, November, December, in January, and it goes all the way up to about April. So I'm thinking from the winter side, you put it in February to start planting, and you want to pull them out by July, September due to that fact, because they'll go through their veg stage, and if everything goes good and they have a strong veg stage and the strong flower, you don't want them to go back into veg with the change of light time, like the hours of light coming back into September. It's going to be the longer days, so it might kick that plant, which is flowering, back into veg, which is not great. So you want to, this is where I'm at. I want to try and see if it all fits in time and the environment's good enough. There's enough sun, there's enough water that it does mature to a stage, and then you finish it off before the light cycle lengthens again. I'll just go back to here. Where are we at? Oh, big thanks to everybody, man, coming through. Really appreciate it. Everyone sticking around. Let's give a bit of a roll call here. We got Cones, P2P, Haley, Greg, Big Dog, my main man from Philadelphia, Luke Curtis, Camo, and I think that's about it. Heaps of comments there. I don't know where they're all directed at. It's good to, hope you're all talking to each other and figuring it out. If you find it interesting, that's pretty cool. So I won't go through it all because it'd be quite a while. I don't know how long I've actually been going for, probably about 20 minutes, but it's a really good website. I haven't read it all yet, and so much more there. There's probably people, writing their testimonies as to what happened with their grows. You've got strain reviews for beginners, grow guides, deals, like for seeds, and all this different stuff there. So it's pretty dope. I reckon that's really cool. There is another one that I'll just bring up real quickly. Where am I at? Yeah, 20 minutes now. So let's go here. But it's just an amazing thing. Like this, the plant, the culture. I always have been, drawn to it, and it's kept me happy. But I guess those stigmas of like everybody else pointing kind of fingers at you and looking down at you because you're smoking. It's just a stigma that they've developed due to some irrelevant education or something they've been told. A very lack of education, really, and it's a little bit sad because a lot of people will like fall into that and then find that they can't be the best that they can be, because obviously they would be able to come up with some immensely helpful ideas, or even just help themselves and be like in a good state, but they can't due to it's just ridiculous rules out there. But anyway, let's not get into that sort of nonsense, but keep fighting for that. Absolutely, this is what it's about to, it's got to be done. So this is another one here. It's called cannabisgrowing.com.au. Haven't checked this one out yet myself, but seems it's obviously it's similar. But what happens during the flowering stage? Whoops. I'm going to home now. Just thought I'll go to home. Cannabis education news and grow guides for ACT residents. Welcome to Cannabis Growing Australia, your source for the education of marijuana info for Aussies living in ACT or that have medicinal license. Well, that's pretty cool then. Cannabis laws are changing rapidly in Australia as at June 2021. Cultivation and possession of up to 50 grams of cannabis is legal in the ACT. Yeah. That's pretty fucking cool. That is really cool. This is the start, as the first start, as the step to change. Awesome. So, and it is decriminalised in South Australia and Northern Territory. Right. So it's been said that South Australia is the only state and the two territories which offer decriminalised penalties. So basically, it's still illegal, but you won't be charged with a criminal offence. Kind of like if you park your car in a stop sign or in a no standing zone, it's like illegal to do that, but it's not a criminal offence to do. But there's still a monetary fine. I mean, like a monetary penalty, like a fine involved. So you see, in other states, minor possession or cultivation is still legal. Still illegal. Sorry. So in other states, minor possession or cultivation is still illegal, with the penalty for possession of small quantities ranging from fines to criminal offences, depending on the past criminal history. So I've actually fell into that category myself. It's quite ridiculous. It's really, it's there. It's done. And I moved to this state for, not totally for that reason, but it was one reason that it was decriminalized here and the relaxed stance on cannabis. Because when I was 17, I was still in grade 12. I was kind of told on by another student that basically I helped that morning due to the fact that he lined something up with somebody else, but that person fell through. We're all in the school, we knew each other, we're all going to school and stuff, but this fellow went to a different school. He didn't sort him out. He's asked me to help. I did. We went to school. This was all in the morning. Basically, by morning tea, he had been caught doing something, whatever he was doing. Like I think he was trying to get rid of it to somebody else. And then he was in a cubicle. He went to the same cubicle. The teacher finds him there. Basically, taken to the office. Police are there. Everyone's there. They asked him, "Who's this? Who's this?" Supposedly, he said something he didn't know. Then they pushed him, and he's come out with a fucking answer. Hey, it's me. So, principal comes to the room. Takes me out of the class. I'm not, kind of, as soon as she was there, I'm like, shit, eh? There's no way I could have thrown anything away either because she followed me to the, she's like, can I have so-and-so with all his possessions to the office? And she took me out of the class. So then I get to the thing, police people are there, all this jazz. I was kind of lucky because I had a packet for myself and another one which was going to be for somebody else too. That was wrapped up in some toilet paper inside my pocket with all these pink tissues. Basically, I pulled out, they said empty your pockets and all this, and it came on the floor. They said, what's that? There was the white tissue amongst all the pink ones. I said, oh, it's just some tissues. Thankfully, they didn't look into it, and they threw it in the bin. But in the other pocket, I had a bud, which is 0.3. Right? This is the point of what I'm getting at this story. That 0.3 led to me going to adult court because I was 17, and that's the age in Queensland. It is still on my record to this day. I got convicted for possession, and they found like a pipe. That's right. They found a peace pipe, and then there's a flowy pen with this fat coat markers. I don't know how they pinned that on me too. It's like it was a big story, but anyway, just to get to that point, that it's 17-year-old for 0.3 of this, tiny bit of flour. has now kind of, I can't. It's harder to get a job whenever they say, "Look, have you got this and that record?" Things that say within the past 10 years, I can say, "Cool, that's not." But anything that's asking for the full thing, it's I fall into that category. And I don't know. I suppose that's not the only thing, but that is one thing that's it's there, and that's quite. I don't know. Like, if that doesn't sound funny to you, that's crazy because like I did nothing really wrong. I mean, in the law's eyes, I kind of did, but I didn't hurt anyone, didn't harm anyone. I was told on, and then I got taken out of the room, searched, and it's led to that, and it's now a flower which I'm a medical patient of, like, but it's still like, yeah. So all these things have got to change. But anyway, that was just the situation for Queensland. So the other states, around Australia, it's still pretty harsh. New South Wales, Victoria, they're very, they'll try to they'll throw as much charge as they can at you. But now that's a good thing to try and get, if you can get a medical prescription, it'll save you all that hassle. It takes a good bit of stress away. You can partake and smoke within the confines of a public, like a private property, and good to go. I touch wood, and I don't want to try and test it and push it and see what will happen when they come, but you should be fine. And the fact is, if they do try and push the prosecution and take you to court, well, it's just a bit of a joke, and you're just going to have to stand strong and fight it. But stand there and be well within your rights, because you have, you've met the category to be eligible for one. You paid the fees, and you've been prescribed by an accredited, doctor in Australia. So they can't, that's, if they're going to go basis some laws, that's 3 points that put you in a position of safety, I guess. So anyway, I'll get back to this here. Australia is still a ways behind other Western countries. For example, it's 100% legal in Canada and 36 US states. As the taboo is relinquished globally, marijuana legalization laws in Australia can be difficult to follow. That is why we've developed a comprehensive guide to Australian laws. Cannabis has been proven to have many medicinal, economical, and societal benefits. Just like alcohol, tobacco, and prescription drug use, education is essential to ensure moderate and responsible use across Australia. Here at Cannabis Growing, we do not condone or endorse any illegal activity. We are simply passionate about providing marijuana use, education, and growing information for those living in the ACT or with a medicinal license. We cannot sell seeds, but we have developed a comprehensive guide on how to buy cannabis seeds in Australia for collectible purposes only. All right, so if you guys want to check this site out yourself too, cannabisgrowing.com.au. Seems pretty cool. I haven't actually checked it out myself. It's just on first time looking at it now. So latest cannabis news here: legalization of cannabis approved by Congress in Costa Rica. So they got some international news. That was October 2021. Cannabis growers in ACT finding it hard to comply with the laws. In September 30, 2020, I might look at that one. Little Green Farmer to be primary supplier of medicinal CBD oils in a French trial. It's pretty cool. So they're going overseas from Australian growth. So we'll go into this and see what it is. Won't be too much longer. I really appreciate everybody hanging around. I'll just read this one and I'll shut the episode down. But really, really do appreciate everybody coming through, showing support, and just staying within the kind of community and just being you, and the plan is helping, and you're proud to say that the plan helps. So that's a good thing. So cannabis growers in ACT finding it hard to comply with the laws. After a new law in Australian Capital Territory allowed residents to grow up to 4 plants per household or 2 per person, as well as up to 50 grams for personal use, residents are finding it hard to comply with confusing regulations. Right, so even that, when kind of that confused me there, is the 2 plants inclusive of the 50 grams, or can you have 50 grams dry flower and the thing? But anyway, We'll read on here. Months after ACT decriminalised cannabis possession, growers are still facing challenges. This is an ABC news report, written report here. So I don't know who it's written by, but we'll find it. Oh, there you go. From the Drum by Ruby Cornish from September 2020. So late last year, when Anastasios Nomikos discovered ACT residents would soon be allowed to grow cannabis for personal use, he began planning his move up from Melbourne. I messaged a couple of my friends who were looking for housemates in Canberra, and I said, "Hey guys, can I please move up?" He told the Drum. It's honestly 95% of the reason I moved there. The ACT's laws allow possession of up to 50 grams of cannabis per person and a maximum of 4 plants per household. Mr. Nomikos had never grown the plant before, but what he lacked in experience, he made up in enthusiasm. I honestly had no idea what I was doing. I just went out there and just spent the time with it every day. Awesome, bro. And that's all you could do, as I said before. As like, you can get the tips and techniques, but it's your environment and your hands, your touch is going to be the key. And so you're just going to have to learn and see what happens. So by one afternoon, shortly before he was due to harvest his plant for the first time, he came home from work to find his prized possessions missing. Uh-oh. I went outside and all I saw was a trail of dirt. That was heartbreaking, as it would be. He was disappointed but not surprised. Someone's always going to find a way, especially if it's a very nice, healthy-looking plant. They can peek over fences and everything. Difficult. Oh, that's terrible. Poor fella. I wonder if they're not really going into further. They're going to say he just got chopped, which is a terrible thing. Like, you would think that the laws, are kicked in now, so people could put in that effort. But I think even Tassie said they don't have the laws allowable there. But he said there's the people that just purposely do it. They just can't be bothered growing, and I'll go around looking for plants when it's harvest time and they rip them. It's pretty disgusting. Let's hope the ganja gods come down on them and they just are banished to PGR bud for the rest of their life. Or no bud. Anyway, difficulties complying with the law. The requirement that plants be grown outdoors where they are a target for thieves is one of a number of complaints cannabis users have with the ACT laws. You can grow cannabis, but it's illegal to buy seeds, says the long-time cannabis legislation advocate Jason Foster. You can grow 4 cannabis plants per household, but you can only have 50 grams, which is less than what one plant will produce exactly. So that doesn't really make sense. Like, you have to trim that and cut it down, and like people are saying you could easily get not easy, but it's pretty easy to get a pound. So 16 ounces, 448 grams of one plant. So they're trying to say 50. So you could do 11 times that. That's 11. Anyway, that's obviously needs something to be changed. And the amount you're smoking, like 50 grams, I would probably go through that. Like, if it's completely high grade, 2 to 3 weeks it would be finished. So what am I supposed to do for I can't grow another plant in 2 to 3 weeks. It's months. So it is something that's you got to. I guess we just got to. They rolled it out, so we need to see what goes on, and then tweak it as it goes. So the complaints are nothing new to ACT Labor MLA Michael Pedersen, who introduced the legislation in 2018. So this is the fellow, which is he wrote the bill for the change. Pretty cool. So props to this guy. In the Australian Senate or House of Representatives, whatever it is. The model we've got in place in the ACT isn't perfect. It addresses possession, but it does not address supply, he says. The fundamental problem we face that is our ability to legislate in this space is limited. To deal with supply, we're going to need changes at Commonwealth level. Well, that's coming from the main man himself. So, as well as being restricted by federal law, the ACT legislation conflicts directly with Commonwealth cultivation and possession laws. In October last year, Attorney General Christian Porter warned the Commonwealth law was still valid in the ACT, but so far no legal challenges has been mounted. So exactly that, all what I've just been said, within the state boundary lines, you're allowed to grow 4 plants per household, 2 per person, or 50 gram per plant. But as in, I think, America too, federally, the law still stands that cannabis is illegal. So the state police aren't going to do anything as long as you're within that boundary of ACT. But the federal police at any time can come through and press charges if they wish. But luckily that hasn't happened yet, in October last year, Attorney General Christian Porter warned I just said that. The time has come and gone. The time for that has come and gone, says Mr. Pedersen. There was a lot of saber rattling at the time, but ultimately it came to nothing. Sorry. The ACT police data obtained by the drum shows there has not been any significant change to detections of THC, the main psychoactive compound in cannabis, in roadside drug tests since the laws came into force January 31. That's another thing. I actually got pinched for that too while I was down here. And it's another terrible thing that goes on your. My ability to drive was not hindered at all, and he only bore that test out after looking at my record. Like, yeah, he was hidden behind some tree on the street, and was going probably 5 kilometers over the limit or whatever. Pulled me over for that, gave me a ticket for that, got my license, checked the computer, looks at the record, then comes back with it. Oh, you've gone through this and this, have you? I'm like, yes, and comes back with a alcohol and a drug saliva test, which came back positive. Gave me like a 6-month penalty or something. It's just like really brought me down to it. But like, I wasn't driving the car for another like year after that. It just got me so upset, like, because and even with these now, like one of the I think it's the vape pen, the MCART Urban Leaf. It says on the script not to. It says usually like 3 days or don't operate heavy vehicles or machinery while affected by this. Could cause drowsiness. The vapes say 1 month, I think. No, not 1 month. 7 days. It says don't drive for 7 days. I'm just trying to look for it to see if I can find one, but it's not. Oh, it's up there. So yeah, like, I mean, that's quite. I don't think it's just going to be in your blood. So this is, as I said, they've got to come up with some reform for that. Because the fact that it's positive in your blood doesn't mean that you're impaired from your driving skills. But so let's just see what's here. I might close it up now pretty soon. I really appreciate everybody for sticking around. If you stuck around, I did too. A lot of people have stuck around. So much peace to everybody. See Doug Shefo coming through. Thanks, Matt. Was Indica. I do hope you find some good information out of that. And as I said, I'll just read them again. So it's ilovegrowingmarijuana.com. Alright, it's the Australian page, our website, with all good information. And the one we're looking at the moment is cannabisgrowing.com.au. So really, really cool sites here. So what else? I'll show you these there quickly. In other interesting news, upon the like in the scene here and products available, I was advised by one of my prescribers of new products that are coming through, and it's pretty exciting because I'll just show you a lot of nice flowers, right? But the main thing that excited me, she said, was let's get it up on the screen. Don't need that. Was rosin is coming. Extracts like this, and then she sends me this. So they're gonna get it from there. If you read this article, it says it's available. So here, you're interested in understanding more about Pleasant Tree's liquid diamonds. card. So this is obviously the brand. The first thing you need to know is that we're available at wonderful Detroit dispensary and East Lansing dispensary. So the what's the protocol? These people are sourcing it from these guys and then bringing it over. So I really can't wait. She said probably a month or two. So that's fucking awesome. The price I'm not sure yet, but another good thing she was saying, because that's the kind of main issue with me at the moment. I really like it. Quality of flowers there, it's legal, it's great. You, as I said, and I still will, an educated home grower with good technique and will be able to produce a better flower. Most definitely, I will vouch for that 100%. But these flowers are good, like they're very good, and it's legal. The price point is probably the only thing that's the hindrance, because they are expensive. A lot of people will miss out. So that's something that's got to change. So what she said, the her organization or the people above her, they're looking to get in some flowers, and these ones, there's LA Kush Cash, McFlurry, ice cream sandwiches, and Crescendo. She sent me photos of them all, this little links, I'll show you in a sec. But there was another one, I think they're all 25% THC. Not sure what the price is there, but she said they're looking at bringing in a 20% THC flower, which will be $90 for the 10 grams. So I said, wow, that's really good. That's going to be better than street prices in Adelaide, and I'm sure the quality is going to be dope, like high grade. So that's really good. It's going to take a month or two, but that's awesome. As in compared to $9 a gram, as in comparison to $23 a gram for the most expensive one, which is a 30% THC flower. And I don't think that price point is what's the like kind of not accepted, which is it doesn't fit. It's not right. Like it's not that much better to be more than double the price. Like 2.5 times. That's 150%. That's heaps, man. That's way too much. So it's been 45 minutes, man. Really, really appreciate everybody's coming through. I'll be able to go down here again. So Cones, Billy P, Haley, Greg, Luke, Big Dog, yeah, there's other people, I'm sure. C Doug, Bo, Sheffo, was Indica, champions, man. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys found some good info on the websites, and you guys are chatting, and talking good amongst yourselves. I really, because this is what it's about, being respectful, promoting the plan, changing the mindset of people. We've got to get this culture out and advocate for it in the right way. Show people that it's good, the benefit of it, and just keep it, man. King B come through, bro. FairGrow, that's right. Oi, James Guy, bro. Fucking champion. Really appreciate everybody coming through, man. Let's fucking. I'm just gonna close up for now, but I really appreciate that, bro. If everybody wants to go check out James Guy channel, he's really cool over in America. He's like got a really well established channel that helps people grow their channel. So thanks for coming through, bro. And much peace and much just presence, and be peaceful with the plan. Oh no, hang on. How about we do this then, eh? I'll spark up a split for that one. Link for about 5-10 minutes. If everybody wants to come up. Have a chat. Salam, bro. Yeah, I went. Fortunately, though, too, another little thing. What is it? I went to the chemist to pick up. I've been trying to. It's been about more than a week actually. They've got a flower called It's called Vision. 23% THC. 23.4 actually. This is a container that it comes in. It's a small thing. Really, it's pretty dope. Well priced. It's like $147 for the 10 grams. Comes from Canada, but it's like they haven't had any in, and it's been a good week and like maybe 10 days, 10 business, or maybe not 10 because that will be tomorrow. So 9 business days or 8 business days, and then no joy with the Vision. And so that's their sativa dominant and the Black Candyland, which is kind of my favorite one at the moment. And that's caused that to sell out because, they need to fill orders and they don't have that Vision. So everyone's going to be like, what's your other sativa? And they took this one. But, it's all good. It's like, I suppose we can't whinge you and stuff. You just got to try to be the change we want to be, we want to see. It's easy to point fingers and shit and lay blame on others, judge, than rather like try and take responsibility and be the change that you want. Because it's very disheartening to see the way things are out there, and the mindset of people on the planet. And then to see the way this corporate push is coming with this medical. A lot of people are missing out, and they shouldn't be, just due to the fact they can't afford it, or they don't fit into the classification, or they're kind of unaware. Like, they actually can't advertise. They can't tell you about the product or describe it at all. You've just got to buy it and then go from there. It's places like this and Canna Review where this information can be shared. It's fine for any patient to get online or write a blog and just review their plant or tell them how they went. And that's how information will be shared. Got a champion. We've got a main man champion up in the back. Thought I'd just chill out for a bit and have a bit of smoke. But it's P2P, part-time planning. He's also got a channel, bro. Do check him out. Much peace, bro. I don't know if we can hear you. You could be muted. I can't hear you, though. Maybe everybody else can, though. La 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 la. Can you guys hear him? Or maybe he said 1 minute. Just give him a sec.
Yo.
Back now. What's up, bro?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah. It's all clear.
Weird.
Thanks for coming through, bro. How's your day been? The planting?
Not a problem, man. Thanks for having me out.
That's easy.
Is everything still going as well as it could be expected, I suppose?
For me, yeah. Pretty much. Like the ones which were smaller, they didn't get any shock at all, really. Eh? Like no color change, no limp in them. They're quite. Two of them are pretty far along. One of them is a G30, like this bag seed, looks really great. Yes. The other one, flowers are looking good now. They're developing nicely, and then the color change is coming in the sun leaves. So it's like, which is cool. I think the vitamins are going into the flower. Yeah. And then there was another one which is only about 2 weeks into flower, but the amount of white hairs, which it's really, the flowers look like they're going to be big. So I'm pretty happy with that. And the other thing is that big one, it got a bit of a shock, I think. Like, I'm thinking that because it kind of wilted for a day or two and then, would have stunted, but it's still strong and it's still pointing up. But I'm just not sure how far these flowers are going to swell. Is it going to fill out the branches, or is it going to be like, little spaces? And also the reason to that could be because I didn't, lollipop it enough. Like I did a little bit, but probably not a huge, and that's probably the outcome. You're going to get space between the buds rather than one big fat bud on the end of the branch.
The moving of it, the larger one, you probably nicked a couple of roots on the transplant because it was so big.
Yeah.
Being the others were small and they held up okay, you probably went right around their root zone and grabbed everything. So
Yeah.
they didn't get any shock at all.
Totally.
The lollipopping of it, yeah, it's more so for increased growth at the try to increase the growth at the top by not growing little buds on the bottom. But they should still, even though if it's still got a lot of leaves, it should still them buds will join up.
Okay.
Should join
Well,
up.
then, yeah. And if it does, that's cool. And then I was thinking, I had a look at the moon cycle. So it said the waning moon, I think, is the best one in the third and fourth cycle, which I thought was going to be 1st of April. So I was going to pull it just then, but advice from Hook said, "Nah, leave it till the next end of next month because that's 2 moon cycles, and you'll see this huge swelling of the flowers on the last 2 weeks." So we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, the moon when the moon is full, it doesn't seem like it because you can't feel it, but it's lifting things up. So when the moon's full, the gravity of the moon is actually helping. It's easier for moisture to go up into the plant. That's why a lot of people harvest on the new moon or whatever, or the waning or whatever one you were talking about, because it's at a lower point then, the water. The moon's on the other side of the planet full or whatever, and not here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
less
the
water
moisture won't be in the plant.
So it'll dry out quicker. Yeah.
Do you know how much difference it it'd probably take another few days for all that moisture to come out, I guess.
Probably
if it
a couple
was
of
picked
days,
on the
I'd
other
say.
side. Yeah.
But that's why they seem fuller. Yeah. And that's why seedlings pop good on the moon as well, on moon cycle, full moon. So you plant them like 3 days before full moon.
Okay. How about yourself, bro? Everything's good there with your bills?
Got banner jarred up.
Oh, really? It's finished already.
Yeah, that banner is insanely fast. And
wow.
Yeah. Zaya's
was it as big as you liked?
What was that, mate?
Like, did it get to the size that you would expect, or it's finished kind of shorter?
No, it's definitely shorter. It's probably 5 foot tall when it finished, but about 5 foot wide as well.
What? So probably got a good pee out of it. We'll see how you go anyway. Yeah.
But yeah,
that's wicked.
Anything else I've grown, but it almost seemed to be in a state of flower from birth. Like it popped hairs when it was 30 centimeters tall, or maybe 20 centimeters tall, and it kept them all the way through veg. I kept wondering what's going on. It tripped me out. They just wouldn't go away. They just kept staying. I don't know what's going to happen here. And then all of a sudden it started taking off. I'm like, oh, okay. This would be a good plant for people who grow indoors. It's a quick finisher.
It's quicker, and it's full too, I guess. See how the flowers go. I wonder if they're going to be like fucking, in boosters, because the pistils are like so potent, I guess. That's not potent, but oh shit! Oh god! I said I'd have a smoke, but I don't know how to lighter. Good. Oh. Whoa, man, that's fat ass, man. Do you know I reckon that's good 5 grams at least.
I know I didn't weigh it. Fucking has me hands still got fucking resin all over them from chop.
It's all good. There's a big bud. Was that the crown? Nah, not even.
One of the stats under it. I didn't want to show the crown. It was the one bud that got the fucking spot of rot about the size of a 5-cent piece.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I took a picture of it. I sent it to Monty. He's like, "It's not bad rot, mate. It's fucking
nice.
It's a worm. There's a worm in there."
Oh.
Like fucking hell.
Fuck! I was really watching someone.
And had a look, and yeah, there was a worm in it, little white fucker. So I'm just like, yeah.
Oh no! Fucking get rid of it quick. Yeah.
I cut that whole bud area to remove the worm, and then just quick look over the rest of the plant. It was so defoliated, and it had so few leaves on all the buds that it's quite easy to see there was nothing else there.
Okay. Yeah, you don't want any morsel of fucking spores of that guy's travel being anywhere near it. I was watching this. I can't remember where I saw it, but someone had a stream on the other day, and the person who's Luke. Anyway, someone's in the back here, but they said that they worked for one of these Canadian. They were in Canada, and they worked for one of these corporations growing, right, like a huge. I can't remember the amount, but it was like massive warehouses they're doing. And what he said, he left the place because of how it was run. It's Luke Curtis, bro. Easy. It says devices not connected, bro. They will need to connect their mic / cam before you can add them to the stream.
Connect your stuff, but just before you enter the studio, you can hit the stop cam if you don't want to show your face.
Yeah. Then basically he says he left the place due to how they ran it after a few years, but they were like the most sly fucking this and that, and he reckons that any crow which had bud rot, which had a few of these things, they'd keep it all the plant and they'd just cut around it, and they didn't really care. Like the way you described it was a bit like I guess that's what they don't want to waste. They're not out there to waste products, but
more about the money.
Yeah, it's just about the money, bro. It's got nothing to do with patience and flower. And the exclusivity or whatever. Oh shit, exclusivity of these flowers now. Like the certain doctors can only get certain flowers. That's I don't understand. It's happening, and it's what's happening because the doctors are. He said it, and they're actually going to do the same thing because the green gelato from Relief, I asked for it, and he said no, it's something that he can't get. The people who bring it into the country are only giving it to one doctor who's only going through one place, so they're going to do something similar. And there's a nurse that I was just talking about is doing the similar thing with all those ones, like her rosin, the LA Kush, the McFlurry, this and that. So it's like I really don't understand because is it a brand thing or is it a patient thing? Because if it's a medicine, why would you want to have an exclusive thing and you have to go to a certain doctor just to get treated? I think money that's a bit silly. Yeah,
money. It's exclusive because this doctor or company that he's prescribed, that he's getting you to buy your weed from when he prescribes it, that means that they're going to make the money on that if everyone wants that, and they're not going to allow it to be sent out by anyone else. Yeah, it is pretty stupid, and I hope cannabis companies don't align and go, all right, I'll grow these 10, you grow those 10, and I won't ever grow those, I won't ever grow these.
And no one knows it better.
Yeah, you fucking grow everything you can and you sell it.
They collect it. And I think one thought for myself was the fact that it's a fight against these big corporations like ANTG, Canatrek, Beacon and stuff, because, if they can say, because they'll have this wide range of flowers, and then they've got the big capital bank, so the smaller ones can't really compare funding wise. But if they can say, look, we have this thing, it's going to be a incentive for people to go to them, if they want to try this particularly. But it's really weird because, as we said, it's more monetary and no medical premise behind it.
Yeah, we're not talking about craft beer. We're talking about medication. So
exactly,
whether it's generic or fucking whatever,
Also, we're talking about medication prescribed from people who've gone through fucking 4 years of school, finished, and done an oath to say that I'm going to serve the people, in the best possible way I can, and they want to pull this trick now.
Yeah,
it's just
probably not.
I mean,
probably goes against that Hippocratic oath or whatever they take.
Yeah. I'm definitely happy to see the change, but we gotta. I guess I want to keep in the front line and keep the fight for change for the better. Like, we should be allowed to grow, for one. Everybody should. It's and the fact that we gotta worry about it all the time, like of someone knocking on the door. It's just fucking silly. For looking after a plant, we go home, chill in our own space, like to just vibe out with the thing. Don't make any noise. You just water it. You're doing things, trimming it up, looking at the sun. It's fucking so good for everything. But we can't do it.
It's not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
So, well, companies that sell weed would probably disagree with that, but otherwise, no, it's not hurting anyone.
What do you think? What are they going to say? You're hurting their bank balance.
I can't buy the next mega yacht. Fucking hell.
Yeah, true, eh? Yeah. I can't put gold taps in. A third gold toilet. Fucking hell. I can't find my lighter, bro.
So, you get it?
Yeah, it's all good. Nah, I think we go. Cambercat, yeah. 120. If they're 50 grams, then yeah, maybe.
You should be able to grow what you need from 6 to 10 good-sized plants for a year.
Yeah. Yep.
As long as you're not selling it, you're just smoking it.
Yeah, that's right. It's not there. That's right. It's all there for person. I'm not looking to do that at all. I'm legit just looking at, just have it for yourself, and that's what it's about. You're doing it for you're growing it for your person. Fucking, not to make cash, bro. But no,
and I say
because
it's outdoor and you don't know what the season's going to be like, and you might run into some problems. You might lose one ear, or one might be a male.
Okay. Yeah.
You got to have a few backup.
Yeah. I think I've been pretty blessed to, come out with the amount of girls that I did. I'm pretty happy with it. Only seen one boy. There's one boy out there now.
Because if it's going to be medical, you can't say that you've got medical weed because you didn't go through the process for it to be graded as medical.
Yeah, true. Why should it be illegal to sell?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to say it's medical, you can't, can you? Because you didn't go through the process.
True that.
Didn't get graded, didn't get tested.
Yeah.
So that's why you can't sell
it. True that. It's not actually, classified as medical Australian marijuana. It's still cannabis of high grade, but you haven't gone through that stipulations and shit. But and I don't know. One thing I don't think it really should be, but I'm just thinking what the people are going to say is because shit, it's not taxed. You'd have full $50 or whatever it is. Whatever you sell is going straight to you, unless you go say,
that's something I didn't know that. Say you pay $12 to $14 a gram, right? I didn't know that 10 of those dollars was tax money.
Yeah, are you sure about that? Because someone told me that too. That they said like 100.
Nexus. That's what I've heard from Nexus. I didn't look myself yet, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah, from someone said. I heard that
12 to 14.
It's $100. Like I've heard, it's $100 that bottle. Every bottle, these jars, which are like 200 or 160, goes to the government. $100. I was like, wow, really? So I talked to the doctor. He's a cool guy. He's he's the one who told me about the exclusivity and all this shit like this. He said that's not true. That $100 that's not that's mumble jumble. There would be a certain percentage, but the other fella said that the wholesale comes in. They get it from wherever, like Canada, America, for $5, say, and then it goes from $5 to $7, say $7, $8, still within the country. Gets out of the country for about $10 to $11, then it gets within here, goes to someone else to about 10 to 12 to 14. Then it's at the chemist, who then marks it, and then we get it. And then the chemist has told me from the Beacon products that they get, they're marketing them at 160. He says they're not even making 10% on them.
Yeah, so, and that's what I would have thought. I mean, imagine you're a business and you're gonna sell this thing and you get it's $4, but 10 of you got to sell it for 14 because 10 of that is for the government. That would be like the highest tax rate on the planet anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely something. Like that to say something that's a ridiculous price. That's huge. But if that is the case,
it figures they pay between 10 and 20%. Like, I don't know what corporate tax is, but I guess it's pretty low. Personal tax is like 20%. So
unless you're on the highest bracket, then it's 50.
Well, if you get two jobs, yeah, your first job is taxed.
If you're earning over, if you're earning over like 120 or something like that.
Yeah, you're in the like over fucking 150 or more, like 250,000 a year.
Yeah. Which is still, it is a fair chunk of the people, I reckon. It's like you'd be surprised at how much some people are earning out there now, compared to the like minimum wage and the poverty line. Even a mate of mine's doing that. A friend of mine, he's younger than me. He's only like 28. Finished engineering degree, but never found a job in that. He got an internship too, and did really well. He was like one of the best graduates in this year. So he had some awesome ideas, and they took him in. But all these places seem to do it. They hire the intern for the 6 months. It's cheap. It's free actually, I think, or whatever. And then they do it again. You don't have to fucking pay an employee.
That's bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah. And then, but see, he didn't get it, but he's done anyway.
Then they go, oh, there's not enough trained people here for us to hire, so we're going to hire people from overseas. Because they fucking won't put in the time to get these people up to fucking scratch in the first place.
Hours. Yeah.
Yeah, government does need to profit off everything. That would be one of their main concerns with any black market is the tax. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
We're missing out, though, damn it. We're missing out.
I don't. Yeah. Well, they on the books they are. I actually think that they know. They always it's like not the government itself, but people within the frame of the system know that exactly what's going on in the black market and that money. It's crazy. They gotta know. It's a huge chunk. Anyway, I'm not gonna complain about it. I still can't find my lighter.
No.
I watched a documentary the other day. I watched a documentary today, and they were saying something like they were gonna barcode plants and trees, so you literally can't go into nature and grab a snip. What?
Barcode.
Bro, that's like China, and like I heard that their eye survey. Not to say anything bad about China, but that they got this thing where it's all it's like face camera detected, and
Yeah, they
it's really
have
weird.
their facial recognition and social score. So you have a social score on how good of a person you are, have been, how you spend your money, and the things that you've done, and like it's open so people sort of know who you are, and it defines what access you get to things. Apparently, this is what I've heard.
It's on the way. It's on the way, bro. It's already happened in that sort of shit. Anyways, fucking, it's crazy. At least we're out here. We got our mindset on these sort of things. They better not be doing that to any fucking cannabis trees. I'll tell you that. Oh, mate. All right. I'm going to shut this down. Thank you for everybody coming through, dude, and sticking around. I really appreciate it. Everybody's fucking heaps, man. And I'll, come be back on Tuesday. No, I'll be back on Monday with music on a Monday. Make sure you support everybody around in the community. It's good everybody in the chat is getting along and meeting new people, or same people over, but if there's new people in there. Much peace, always high grade. I'll say it again, look inside yourself, find your direction, follow that path, be the best you can be yourself, and be honest. So, PGP, bro, you got anything to say to the people before I shut it down?
I can see you all on the next one. I'll see you around. 420 fam.
Nicely said. And here we go. Right.